Hey y'all, welcome back. If you're brand new here, my name is Barbara. I live in Tennessee and I'm in Zone 7B. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. And if you're not new here, thank you so much for stopping by my channel. I'm so glad that you're here. In this video, I'm going to give you a garden tour. It's towards the end of June. And so we're going to do a monthly tour like we always do and show you how things are faring. So we're starting in the back of the house and then we're going to go to the high tunnel. You saw me watering, so I want to walk you through some things that's going on back here, and then I'll meet you in the high tunnel. And so if you're brand new, we have 3 main growing spaces that we grow in primarily in the summer. So the back of my house, we have 5 raised beds that we started with, and then we also have a high tunnel. In the high tunnel, we have 6 raised beds, and then we have 5 rows that are 45 feet long that we grow in ground, and that tunnel is the 30 by 96. And then our third growing space is we have an in-ground outside garden that's about 4,000 square feet. So we have about 8 rows, 100 foot rows on all 8 of them. So in this video, we're going to do the tour of the back of the house and the tunnel, and then I'll do a separate video for the in-ground garden. So let's talk about what's going on back here. And I'm going to tell you, like, y'all know, I'm going to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly. It ain't looking so hot back here. It ain't looking so hot. And really, it's just in one bed. So let me not overgeneralize or say that. But let's walk around each bed. I'm going to show you what's going on. If you've been here, then you know we planted back here. And then we'll kind of talk about, you know, what's going on. Hey, Lexi. Hey, Max. Y'all know wherever I am, that's where the dogs are. Today, Lexi, you don't want to say hi to the people? Okay. Anyway, so let me take you and show you what's going on. Okay, so this is bed number 1. In this bed is nothing but Roma tomatoes. And I'll tell you a little bit about how I chose what to plant back here and why. But this entire bed is Roma tomatoes. So Roma tomatoes are a paste tomato and they are a determinate variety. So let me talk about my growing spaces and how I'm intentional about what I grow where. Sometimes I grow the same thing in 2 different places, or sometimes in 3 different places, because I'm trying to see which one is going to fare the best, or because I might need a lot of that crop, right? So in the back of my house, this, when it comes to the summertime, is really the only time that we're focused on it. Well, I shouldn't say that. In the fall, we do garlic back here. But in the summertime, this is like the 3rd space that we plant. So out of the 3, we plant this one last. So this is more of our succession type crops back here, or it's going to be a crop that I didn't have space for in the other 2 places. So Roma tomato is a paste determinate variety. So that means it's going to get to a determined height and it's going to bush, right? And it's going to put on all of its fruit at one time. That is the definition of a determinate variety tomato, if you're not sure what that means. And so because I'm in the back of the house and because the other spaces are really large and I've trellised and I've staked and I've done all the things in the back of the house, by the time we get to this part of the season, I don't want to put up another trellis. I got to put up one more and that's it. But I don't want to go through and put up all these cattle panels and all this stuff. So I don't grow indeterminate tomatoes back here if I can help it. Right? Last year I did a couple of indeterminate varieties, but mostly if I'm doing tomatoes in the back of the house, it's determinate because I know it's going to be a bush. They can just take a stake and they don't have to have all the, you know, the fancy trellising and all of that to support them because they're not going to get as tall. So again, I'm intentional about what I plant back here. The other thing is I am going to try this year to use my paste tomatoes only for sauces. The paste tomato has less juice, more meat, right? So if you think about a tomato, you usually are not putting a paste tomato on your sandwich. You're usually using what we call a slicing tomato, one that has juice that when you bite down, all the seeds going everywhere, the good stuff. A paste tomato is going to be very good for making sauce, spaghetti sauce, pizza sauce, barbecue sauce, because it's going to help it be thicker and not as watery. And so that's why I have a whole bed of Roma tomatoes to make sauce. Okay, so let's move on. The next bed we're going to skip because that one has not been planted yet. And y'all, it look a mess, but I'll show you anyway. Okay, as you can see here, this bed is falling apart, but we still going to plant it. We are still going to plant it, but I have to weed this bed and plant it. But what's going to go in this bed are cucumbers. And so I will have a trellis in this bed. So I haven't decided if both sides are going to be cucumbers or just one. Lexi, no. Lexi is a puppy and she's still learning her boundaries. Okay. And Lexi has a lot of energy and wants to play. Okay. So cucumbers are going to go in this bed, and then I may also do another round of green beans, but we will probably plant that in the next week or so. I've already started the cucumber seeds to buy me some time, but that one hasn't been planted yet. So let's move on to this bed, and this is the bed that is not doing well. Take a look. In this bed are peppers. I have jalapeno peppers and sriracha peppers. That's what I have. But you can see, look at these leaves. They look pitiful. They look pitiful, basically. They're drooping. They're light colored. And I'm going to come back and talk about that. Let me show you the other two beds, and we're going to come back to this one. So you can see that they're not as green as the other beds are. The ones on the right are doing a little bit better, but these ones in the middle, not so much. So let's move on here to bed number 4. This again is Roma tomatoes on the first, on the left-hand side. The very far right side are peppers. Peppers that you can see there. All of those are looking good, no issues. The Roma tomatoes are looking good. They're starting to grow. So all of that is good. And then over here in the very last bed are sweet potatoes, 2 rows of sweet potatoes, and then I have 2 rows of green beans. And let's talk about that. So let's talk about this bed first. In this last bed with the sweet potatoes, I really wanted a whole bed of sweet potatoes, but we had a lot of travel in May and this month as well. I was not able to find but 12 sweet potato slips, right? So I planted those. One of them, I don't know what happened to it. So I'm left with 11. They look okay. To me, they're not growing nearly as fast as they did because I've normally planted my sweet potatoes in the high tunnel. Sweet potatoes love heat, and it has been hot. So I'm going to, I mean, they look fine, but they're just not growing as fast as I would have thought compared to how they grow in there. This is my first time planting mine here, so we'll see what happens. It's not going to be a lot, I guess, because I don't have the whole bed full, but we're going to take what we're going to get. On the other side of the bed is I planted green beans. The germination has been very spotty. This is the only place where we do not have drip set up. We tried one drip system back here last year. I wasn't a huge fan of it. And so we're trying something different. We just haven't had the time to install it. So I'm having to, we got these sprinkler things set up, but they don't work as efficiently as drip, or I'm having to come out here and manually water, which is just not as effective. It's just not as effective. So I've had to reseed the green beans twice, and the germination is still spotty. I think I see maybe 6 plants, but I still got some open space. We'll reseed again and see what happens. So that bed is doing okay. The Roma tomato beds are doing fine, but let's go back to this other bed over here. This bed right here. Y'all, I don't know what's going on with this bed. This is my second time planting it with the same type of peppers. And all of the peppers have been starts that I bought from a nursery. So brand new. They looked great when I got them from the nursery. Green peppers on them and all that. The ones that you see here, I just planted them 2 days ago, 48 hours ago. They were green. They were doing well. By the end of the day, which is what it is now, they're droopy and they've turned this light green. The first set did that. Then I went and bought another set and planted it. And now the same thing is happening again. They're drooping. And I'm thinking, okay, they're in direct sun, but so are the rest of these beds, right? And they don't look like that. So I'm not quite sure what is going on. It has to be something in the soil. But the thing about it is that all the soil is the same. And I amended it all the same way. I'm at a loss. Now, I'm not freaking out about it, and I'm not too upset about it. Oh, and for those that are new, if you're wondering what that is behind me, that's a root cellar. Because I always get that question, like, what's that building behind you? It's a root cellar, where we store bulk items and things like that. And I have some videos on the root cellar, it being built the whole 9 yards. So there's a playlist if you want to see that. But back to this bed. I cannot figure out what's going on with this bed because it's not acting like the rest of them. Yes, it gets hot. And so like last night, they looked like this. I gave them some water. And this morning, they perked up and they look fine. Now they're back like this again. But the other beds are not. So I'm at a loss, and my husband's like, it has to be something in the soil, but I don't know what could be in the soil that's not in these other ones because it's all the same. And the reason why I'm not too upset, freaking out about it, is because I have so much other stuff growing, and I have the blessing of having more spaces. All of this stuff back here, when I say extra, it's not extra, but it is. So I have jalapeno peppers growing out there. My srirachas, I really did want and need these srirachas for sure. But if for some reason it doesn't happen, then it doesn't happen. You know, it just won't happen. I think I have a few out there, but that's about it. This was going to give me more because I really want to make a lot of sriracha sauce is what I want to make. I'm at a loss. If you have any suggestions or tips, let me know. And remember I said on the video earlier that one of the things that is unsettling as a gardener is when something is not going right and you don't know what it is. So therefore you don't know how to fix it. When you know how to fix it, then you may be upset that the crop is not flourishing, but at least you know a way to attack it and you wait and see if that plan works. When you don't even know what to do, that is unsettling. So I'm just going to keep watching it. This is the only bed out of the 4 that's planted. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But that's pretty much it. I'll do the green stalks later. Let's go ahead and go to the tunnel. I'm gonna meet you down there. Okay, guys, so now we're in the hot tunnel. I'm gonna take you around and give you a tour. So like I said before, we have 6 raised beds, 3 on the left, 3 on the right, and then behind that are 5 rows. So I'm gonna walk you through each bed, each row, and let you see how things are going at the end of June. If you are a new subscriber, please put down that you're new below. We have a lot of new people, and let me know what state you're in, so that way I know if you're close, if you're far, and then also let me know what zone you're in as well. So welcome. Let's go ahead and get started with how things are going in the hot tunnel. So all around the tunnel we have some herbs in pots. This is a strawberry mint. Mint is very invasive, so I never plant that in a bed. I always do containers for those type of herbs that are invasive. But in this first bed, this was our lettuce bed, and it was full of lettuce until it got too hot and it bolted because the kind I had in here was not a heat tolerant variety. So in here now we seeded 2 rows of lettuce. As you can see, it is very, very slow coming up. We have very spotty germination. And I think that is just due to a watering issue and the fact that it's been so hot. And I'll talk about that in a minute. And then the other 2 rows in the bed are peppers, all different kinds of peppers. So we have some coral bell peppers here, which are like an orange variety. And then in the back, we have some poblano peppers. And what else? Yeah, poblano and then coral bell peppers. That's all that we have here. Now, in this bed, these peppers that are in here came from the same place that those peppers that I showed you, they're not doing well in the back of the house. They all came from the same place. So that is why I feel fairly certain that it is not a plant issue. It must be something in my soil or something with that particular bed, because these plants came from there too. And I'm trying to think, do I have any more plants outside? Because obviously this is in a controlled environment, so it's not getting direct sun because we have a shade cloth. But let me think out there. The Roma tomatoes came from a different source. Those are the only ones out there that are from that place. But again, we're going to keep watching it. I'm excited about this bed because I have a new crop in there that I've never done, which is a poblano pepper. The nursery where I got all of the peppers, they were buy one, get one. Buy one, get one free. So they were in 6-packs. So essentially the 6-pack is normally like $4.49. So I got 2 6-packs for $4.49. So that's like 12 plants for like $4.50. I mean, who passing it up? Nobody. So they had a ton of poblano peppers. I don't even think I've eaten a poblano pepper, and I certainly haven't grown one. So I got it because that's what they had. It was on sale. And the girl at the store, she was like, oh, you're going to love it. It's really great. It has a great flavor. You can use it for chili. Don't get me to mispronouncing. Chili relleno? You know what I'm trying to say. I don't even think I've had that before. So y'all let me know. Poblano peppers. She said they get pretty big. Let me know your experience, what you use it for, all the things. Now let's go to the next bed. Okay, in this second bed, we have quite a few different things. So in the middle here, is where we sowed our green beans. I had to sow this twice, but you can see I have better germination and some that are, you know, pretty growing very nicely. Let me just say that. They're growing very nice. I have an open space there. I see one that just germinated, and then I have a little bit of an open space there. But so far, so good. That's what's going down this row. Here is some bouquet deal. Here you can see that it's gotten quite wild. Oh, it smells so good. It smells so good. Oh, it's breaking. Oh, it broke. Oh, this deal smells so good. Okay, so this is bouquet deal that you can obviously use in a flower arrangement, like just to add as like a filler, and for decor. Why the plant look taller than me? Must be my camera angle. Like what? It's big. It smells so good. Okay, this is my first time ever successfully growing deal. I grew this from seed, and I had it all over. You'll see in the bed that's behind me, I had a lot of it. It's all gone. We harvested a ton. I can't remember if I did that on, I think I did it with you guys. We harvested. Lexi. Y'all. Somebody, my puppy is so playful, so energetic, and gets into everything. Let's focus. Okay, so this bouquet deal, I can use it for a flower. Here's my question, because I've never grown it successfully. Once it starts, I'm assuming this is what it calls, this is how it goes to seed, even though the purpose, one of the purposes of it is to use as a filler in flower bouquets. But my question is can I use it once it's gotten to this stage? So like the part that's down here doesn't have the little yellow things on it. So, and it still smells so good. I'm assuming that I can harvest this and still use it. But I want to know about this part right here. Like, is it going to change the taste of the bitter? Let me know how you guys have used this before. And because this is my first time successfully growing it, did it go to seed too early, or that's what it normally does? Like, does it not like hot weather? And is it usually like a spring crop and not a summer crop? I can look it up, but if y'all know, just put it down in the comments. Let me know. But I'm so excited about my deal. I've already harvested a ton. So if I can't use this, I harvested a ton. I freeze dried it, grinded it up. I got me a whole salt shaker's worth and a half of deal. And I don't use that much deal, so I think I'm good with what I have. Now, I may decide that I like the fresh deal a lot, and maybe I'll start using it in some more recipes. But I think if I don't get any more, I think I'm good. And then I can always plant more next year. But that just kind of broke off. It was getting kind of wild. But I'm going to put that here. I'm going to harvest it for a flower arrangement. And then I'm going to get this bottom part, because it hadn't gone to seed, and use it. That's what I'm going to do. So we'll put that there. Let me show you the rest of the bed. Okay, so in the rest of this bed, remember I showed you on the right-hand side are green beans. In the middle, these little small plants here are Thai red chili peppers. That's my first time growing those. So they are starting to put on flowers and little bitty green peppers. So I'm assuming they'll turn red. And then in the back, we have some flowers growing, some celosia, as well as, I think that's a sunflower, a dahlia back there. And then we have some jalapenos there. This next bed is full. So in the corner we have a marigold. You see a marigold back there. And this bed is all of my non-spicy peppers. Let me take you off tripod so we can get a little bit closer. So look at these right here. These are giant Marconi. They are a big, like, roasting pepper. You can see how long it is. It'll turn red. So we have a couple of those in there. There is some basil. This right here is a, oh, they're coming. I see them. Oh my goodness, I've been waiting for these. These are, I'm gonna tell you about these. These are like a special pepper. Oh, they look so good. Okay, then here's some eggplant that are, oh, that's a nice size. That's growing. This is fairy tale eggplant, which is a mini. You can see I have another one there. Let's see if we can come from this angle. Oh, I have quite a few. That looks good. Okay, then I got more peppers here. This bed is full. It is loaded with peppers. Then I got more peppers over here. Look at my nasturtium. It is trailing. We'll talk about that too. And then here, more peppers, more peppers, more peppers. So doing quite well. Also in this bed, this is a patchwork pepper from row 7. You can see it looks purple, but it's supposed to turn red with like some purple striping. So it's getting there, but I have quite a few of them in there. And there's one that I'm looking for that I cannot find. This bed is really crowded. These right here that I was so excited about, I thought it was something else, but now I know what it is. These are sweet. Hold on, these are sweet bonnet. Okay, let's talk about this bed. So this bed, intentionally, I tried to put a whole different set of peppers in here that were non-spicy. Last year I kind of mixed my peppers together, and I noticed that a pepper that I grew that was supposed to be not spicy had a little bit of heat to it, or vice versa. I can't remember which one. And somebody mentioned, hey, they probably were too close together and cross-pollinated. So I tried to be intentional this year on purpose and separate the ones that were spicy versus non-spicy. I didn't do as good of a job out there in the tunnel, but in here, this bed is all non-spicy. Now, of course, there's a bed right beside it that has some spicy peppers in it, but they're not in the same bed. Best I could do. But this bed is doing really, really well. Everything in there looks really good. I'm really excited because I have eggplant. That is a fairy tale eggplant, so it's a mini eggplant. It does not get big and blocky like some traditional ones like Black Beauty and things like that. So it is a mini, and so I'm really excited. I tried to grow that last year. It didn't do nothing. It germinated. It grew beautifully in my house. Once I got it put in the ground, it was so attacked by insects and and just all the things that I pulled it up. Somebody said that with eggplant, you put it down, it gets attacked, but if you just kind of let it go through, it'll usually bounce back. Well, I had already pulled it up by then. But I have never, ever had success with eggplant like I'm having now. And if you missed last month's garden tour video, one of the things that I mentioned is that I have a container of peppermint. Now, I had I had the actual pot sitting in the bed last month, but because the bed has gotten so big and it was hard for me to see it and remember to water it, I took the plant outside. It's sitting right outside the bed. I really believe that had something to do with repelling a lot of the insects away from the eggplant, because this is the first time I got an eggplant, and that's the first time I did that. So if you're experiencing some issues with your eggplant, try putting some type of peppermint plant near your eggplant. Use it in a container because it is invasive, right? Anything in the mint family is going to be invasive, it's going to spread, it's going to take over. So always make sure that you contain it. But that bed is looking so good. Those sweet bonnet peppers, those are the ones, it is like a Scotch bonnet, but without the heat. And that is from Baker's Creek. I did them last year for the first time, and I liked them enough that I wanted to try them again. Mine last year were really small, and I had a friend who did some, and hers were really bigger, and I can see that these are bigger. And I think these are the ones I thought last year that had a little bit of heat to them. I don't think they're supposed to have heat. I can't remember. Anyway, I'm glad I got the sweet bonnet peppers. I have another pepper in there that I'm trying to find that is a special pepper that I got from somebody gave to me that came from Africa. I had it 2 years ago, and that pepper, I don't know the name of it because the person who gave it to me did not know the name. But I've Googled, I've taken pictures, I've tried to find the name. I cannot find the name. But let me tell you something. That pepper tastes so, it has like this sweet, smoky flavor. It's like really, really small pepper, and it's orange. The plant is in this bed somewhere, but I just can't see it, and it hasn't produced anything yet. So hopefully it will produce, and I'll be able to show you, because that pepper is all the rage. All the rage. Okay, let's go to the other side. Okay, this whole bed is nothing but flowers. This is my pollinator patch. Because I have the space, I'm able to do it. Obviously, if I was limited on space, I wouldn't do a whole bed of flowers, but because I can, I do. But I have all kinds of flowers in here. You can see I have sunflowers, I have celosia, I have a mini sunflower. I have marigolds. I have aster. I have zinnias. I have dahlias. I have all the things. I have some coleus back there. Like, it is just full of flowers. And I love it. I will be picking these to take bouquets into the house. But its main purpose is to bring me joy when I come out here, which it does. And it is to bring the bees and the pollinators. So I'm really excited about that bed. It is just like, wow. There's so many different kind of flowers in there. And I love all of them. This next bed is, look at my celery, y'all. We grew this from seed. This is my first time ever growing celery successfully. So celery, and then I had dill in the middle that I've already harvested and taken up. And then I have some basil. I have a marigold right there. And then in the middle in the back, I have a leek plant growing. Looking good. Looking good. Oh, this is a... Well, look at here. That's a potato trying to grow. I got a lot of it. I really don't want to harvest it, but the stalks are not real thick. Does that make sense? Like in the store, they be thick. They're not real thick. I've harvested some and I freeze dried it, but do I need to get all of this? Because is it going to bolt? And is it already bitter because it's hot outside? Y'all tell me, because I don't know. I certainly don't want to lose it. It's so hot out here, y'all. Okay, so on the celery, the reason why I don't want to harvest it all is because I don't have a place to put it and I can't use it that fast. I use it for like smoothies, not smoothies, juicing. But because I've been going out of town so much, I haven't been able to, like I had already made a batch and I just finished my last juice because I juice in bulk. So I just finished my last one. So obviously I can juice some more, but I would prefer, if it's going to be okay, to just come out here and harvest what I need as I need it, instead of me trying to get rid of this whole bed's worth. Let me know on the celery. Let's look at the last bed. Okay, this last bed has a lot of herbs in it. So this is lavender. That is thyme. This is echinacea that we grew from seed. That's lavender as well. This is more thyme. This is parsley. And then these are some of those Thai red chili peppers there. I got a couple of flowers out here. And then I have some sage. We did that from seed. It's growing well. That is a weed that needs to come out. That's some coleus that we grew from seed. I told you I'm in love with coleus now. That is strawberry mint. It smells so good. The other one was orange mint. I made a mistake on that one. More sage. Look at that coleus, so pretty. And then all of these are those Thai red chili peppers. I wonder how big, these are tiny. I wonder if they get bigger. And man, it looks like I'm gonna have a lot. I don't know what I'm gonna do with all those. Lavender. This is supposed to be chamomile there. It hasn't done anything as of yet. That's a zinnia. And that's another echinacea that we grew from seed. As well. So overall, this bed is looking good. Now behind me is our circular bed. Y'all, I'm so proud about this. Look at my comfrey. OMG! Y'all, do you see this? Look at my comfrey. It looks so good. She is like, I am proud. Y'all know I get excited. Okay, and y'all, this is supposed to be chamomile. This is chamomile. Look, I have something. My first time growing chamomile. This is thyme. That's not echinacea, eucalyptus, little fella right there. This is Thai basil that's being covered up by the eucalyptus. By the comfrey. Y'all, do y'all remember we had this eucalyptus in a pot? Not eucalyptus. We had this comfrey in a pot. And I moved it over here. It has gone so crazy. I've never grown it before. Look at these leaves. I have never ever grown it before. So I don't know when it's supposed to be harvested. I don't know if you're supposed to wait till it gets the flowers because it has these purple flowers that comes up, or I would assume you do it now before the flowers, because I would think the flower says it's bolting, is what I think. Oh, I'm so excited. And then look at this pretty little sunflower. Isn't she dainty? And then y'all know, look at this eucalyptus. This eucalyptus has been here. This is his 3rd year. It's been here. Look at that. Look at that. Then these are my blueberries. These ain't doing nothing. But look, y'all, got some blueberries on there. They've been in that same stage for a long time. Y'all, did y'all see that comfrey? She like, I'm here. I am here. Y'all know I get so excited. Okay. There's so much good stuff going on in that bed. I see. Now, I don't know why this chamomile that's over here was in a pot, and I planted it after I did this one. But she got some little buds on it. Y'all, I'm going to give me some chamomile and dry it and have me my own stuff for chamomile tea. That's going to be the bomb. Oh, yes, yes, yes. So excited about that bed. And y'all remember, this is the bed. Remember, I had first planted some stuff in it, and when I came back, it was like all gone. There's all these bugs everywhere. Y'all remember? That bed looking good. So, if that one turned around, maybe the one in the back of the house will turn around. Y'all, I'm so sick of this hair, this humidity. Your girl getting braids in a couple of days because I can't, it's not working. It's not working. Okay, so we've seen the beds in the tunnel. Now let's go to the stuff that's in ground. We are going to start with the tomatoes on the left-hand side. Okay, let's look at these tomatoes. Do y'all see how tall these tomatoes are? Let me go stand and give you some perspective. Y'all see where I am and you see where they are, which I'm short. These are at least like 7-8 feet tall. Like, I can't even prune in. I mean, I need to cut that right there. But past that, I cannot even reach. My husband has to do it. So, the tomatoes, we use a string trellising method. Let's walk through and talk about the tomatoes. I have some damage, and let's talk about what's been going on here. So I'll tell you what I've been seeing and what's going on, but let me just let you see how they're looking. I have plenty tomatoes. Plenty. I need them to blush. They're not blushing yet, but every branch is loaded. Okay, this is a prime example right here. This is what I've been seeing. Look at that. Y'all, is that a hornworm that's just not green? Get off my stuff. Oh, he's already, look at that. Do you see that? Oh, okay. Let me kill him. I'm going to tell you. I just want you to see. If you look at the plants and the leaves, all of that is looking dandy, right? Look at all these tomatoes. Clusters upon clusters upon clusters. And they all, I would say 95% of them look great. Except what we just saw. Okay, and that was a perfect example. So you can see that little insect or whatever that is, that just showed up a couple of days ago. That's why I say, y'all, you got to walk your garden every single day. This is not a weekly thing, especially in the summertime when the pest pressure is high. You have to inspect. How did I even know that was there? Because again, looking at the leaves, they look great. The fruit looks great. 95% of the fruit, but there's 5% that we have had to throw away because of that very issue. Either that, or I have some with that blossom end rot. I think I talked about that on another video out there. That's like 5%. So the other 95% so far look great. But we found this creature. My husband said he thinks it's a hornworm because when he stepped on it, green came out. And I looked up and they said hornworms can be black. So maybe that's what that is. But the green ones that I have seen in my experience usually attack the leaves. They're not eating the fruit. These are eating the fruit. Like they're just getting on in there. Y'all tell me what it is. So one of the things that I'm not great at is identifying the type of insect. Unless I've had it before and somebody has told me and confirmed, hey, that's what that is, then I'm not real good at knowing all the insects yet. That's still part of my journey and I'm learning. Like I know what a Japanese beetle looks like, cabbage worms, aphids, a green hornworm, but like some of the other stuff I don't know. So if you know, please put it down in the comments and let me know. So what I did last night was I sprayed BT. I'm out of BT, so I got to go find some more. And how about Amazon is out of stock of the BT? So I got to go find some tomorrow somewhere at the co-op, Walmart, something. Then this morning I came out here and I sprayed neem oil on some of them. But after this video, I'm about to spray neem oil on all of these. I already got the solution made up. I was nervous because it was starting to get warm. I came out here like at 7:30. The temperature said 74 degrees outside, but in here, of course, it was like 85 degrees. And so I sprayed a couple, which is good because they're still alive. I didn't burn them, but I didn't want to go through the whole thing in case it was too hot or too warm, because I have burned up some plants before, and that was because I didn't dilute the neem oil concentrate. But that's the bug that we're seeing. So I'm going to do neem oil, and then if that doesn't work, if I still see them tomorrow, because yesterday we probably killed at least 20, and we probably threw away, I would say, probably 5 tomatoes. So not a ton compared to how many I have on the vine, but that's 5 tomatoes that I don't have. And I don't know how quickly it's moving, and if I come out tomorrow and more will be done. Like you saw the plants. I mean, they look good. We have a second row of tomatoes. It's hard for me to get in there with the camera, but there's more damage on the second row than on this first row, and that's where more of the bugs were. What's causing it, I don't know. I got all the things. I got marigold, I got basil, I got all the things that say repel pests, but it's not foolproof. It's not 100%. They're on drip, so the leaves are not being sprayed. They've been pruned. There's airflow. I checked a lot of the boxes. Maybe there's a box that I don't know about, and I still have pests. That's part of it. Now we just try to get on top of it and figure out what it is. But if the neem oil doesn't work, then we go into the next level, which the next level is Pyganic, and then after that I got some Azure. If it worked for the aphids, I know it'll work for this. So that's what's going on with the tomatoes. I really want them to go ahead and blush so that I can pick them all and take them in the house and they'll be safe. But I just feel like the longer they stay out here and we don't have the insect thing under control, that I will lose more tomatoes. But you know, picking them when they're hard and green, it ain't gonna yield me. I don't want green tomatoes. I want red tomatoes. So I am praying and hoping that they will start blushing, the big ones. Now the small ones have already started blushing, and we've already picked a ton of those, like the little cherry tomatoes. But I'm waiting on the first sign of blush, and I'm taking them and they're going in the house. Let's walk down to the other end and I'll let you see the other row. So this is the second row. I got a lot of cherries, like these cherry tomatoes, they're blushing. We've been picking those as well. Let me see. See, is that a bug? Oh, that's something there. Like this is the row. Like you can actually see some leaf damage here from that bug or hornworm. This is the leaf damage that I showed you last week. Oh, I'm like, how am I getting wet? The drip is on. Okay, it's hard to get in here, so I have to take you up the tripod. But you can see I got tomatoes, 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 tomatoes. These are doing well because as soon as they blush, I'm able to get them. Let me show you the third and final row, which it starts off with jalapeno peppers. We've been picking a ton, freeze drying them. And so these are doing good, but I feel like they're not as prolific as they have been before. I'm picking, but usually they're like loaded, and they're not loaded. Like, there's a couple. If I were to pick, there's probably 7 or 8 plants here right now. If I were to pick every pepper that was on here, I probably would have 30 maybe. Let's just say they were all, now some of them are not ready to be picked because they're smaller. But I probably have 30. There should be more than that with this number of plants. So I don't know if they're gonna kick it into high gear. Sometimes peppers are slow to the party, then they pick up. So we'll see what happens. Then these are the paprika peppers. I harvested 2 of these. Once they start blushing, I get them. They turn red. So I only have 2 in the house. And then these are our cucumbers along this row. I love this new variety. I'm gonna tell you what that one is with the long ones. Look at that. These are like the long English style cucumber. These are the cucumbers that be in the store that be in plastic, y'all. And then these are all cucumbers. And then remember, we got a squash plant in here that was planted by accident, but it's producing, so we let it. It's been producing well. And then I got more cucumbers down here. Okay, the final 2 rows. Look at my marigold. It's so pretty. And these 2 rows are all peppers, all bell peppers. Again, I got plenty peppers, but they're supposed to be red, yellow, or orange. They just have not blushed yet. But they look good. If you wanted them green, you could eat them now as green. But I don't like them green. I like them for them to be red, yellow, or orange. This one is like overloaded. Overloaded. So the peppers are doing well. You can see they are loaded up. And back here in the back are some more of those giant Marconi peppers. You can see there, all looking good. And then that's the fairy tale eggplant. And more there. So it's doing well. If all of the peppers and the tomatoes were to blush, my house would be so overloaded because the peppers look great. I'm just waiting for them to blush and turn green. Now I have picked a couple of them as green just because I need something in the house. And then I've had a couple, only 2, that blushed, and I took them in the house and they turned a beautiful, beautiful orange. But other than that, the rest of them haven't in here. But as soon as they do, they're going in the house and I will have plenty. So I'm really pleased with the peppers. They're doing well. Let's talk about the cucumber. So I tried a new variety this year. It is called Sashimi, Sashimi. It's from Johnny Seeds. And it's the long English style cucumbers. It is a hybrid. So far, I'm really, really pleased with it. It has done really, really well, and I just like them. And I was so funny, for the first time I sold quite a few of them today. I told somebody I had cucumbers, and they said, well, what kind do you have? And I said, well, I have the long kind, like an English, and I have, the regular kind. And they all bought the long kind, which I thought was interesting. I'm like, okay, is that a thing? I'm sorry, y'all. I feel like something is like biting me, so I apologize. You keep seeing me like, I'm like, what is it? What is it? What is it? So I'm really pleased with that variety. Again, my cucumbers are not as prolific as they were last year. Last year, now I have less plants, but not that many less plants. You know how you can tell, like last year I was picking probably 16 to 20 cucumbers a day at this point in the season. Now I am probably picking, I would say 8 to 10. So not as much. And I probably have maybe 3 or 4 less plants. So maybe that's the same. Maybe that's the same difference. I just don't feel like it's prolific. But again, I'm not complaining because I can't keep up with the ones I have, if that makes sense. We don't eat a ton of pickles. So I still have pickles left from last year. I have pickle relish and pickles from last year. So I'm not upset. It was just an observation that I don't have as many as I had before. But that variety I really like, so I will definitely do that one again. And then the paprika is good too. It looks, I didn't realize they were going to be that big. They take a while to blush. And so I only have 2 in the house. I'm like, well, what can I do with 2? So what I'll probably do is I'll probably just cut them and then freeze dry them until I get more. What I want to do is try to make paprika powder is my goal. But I want to know, I'm gonna look up, because I really want smoked paprika. So I wonder, can I get that from the paprika pepper? I don't know. We're gonna find out. But overall, y'all, things are going well. I cannot complain. No garden is perfect. No gardener is perfect, right? So you're gonna have some wins and some losses. You're gonna have some scratching your head like, what happened? And it's funny how from season to season things can change, right? Like last year my squash was horrible and zucchini was horrible. Now it is like so prolific. And then just to walk through my garden and I see where I'm having some success that I didn't have, not just last year but before, like dill, celery, eggplant. All three of those are things that I have not been able to grow, and this year I have them. I'm gonna keep saying it, y'all. Don't give up. Be encouraged. To everything there is a season, right? What goes well this season may not go well next season. That's why when it goes well, preserve it, keep it, learn from your mistakes, because you may not get, as many next year, right? And when you got a bumper crop, then make sure that you do that, okay? I'm watching Lexi because she's right at the door. There's a bird in the tunnel, and I think she's thinking she needs to come in and get it, but she knows that she better not come in here and get it. But overall, like I said, things are going well. I hope that things are going well in your garden. Let me know in the comments if there's anything that I showed you that you have some expertise on. Put in the comments for me and everybody else. If there's something that's going on in your garden that you want me to answer, I'm happy to. If I know the answer, I'll definitely try to help you. But I hope that things are going well in your garden. This is the June garden tour, and you can see that we're making progress from month to month. I'll keep sharing with you what is happening, the successes, the wins, the losses, and the progress. But remember, gardening is a journey. If you have not subscribed to my channel, I would love for you to subscribe. We are growing as a community, and I'm so excited about that, because when I started this channel, I could not find someone that was kind of going from beginning to end. I needed step 0, and everybody I tuned into was on step 5. Step 5 is good, but your girl was at 0 and I needed 0. So I started this channel to help somebody who may be at 0. Now, obviously, I may be on step 5 when you're watching and you're like, oh, but I promise you, if you have a question, if I know the answer, I will answer it, right? If there's something that you want me to do a video on that you just want to know about, if you tell me, I will do it, or I will point you to one that I've already done, right? I try to be as helpful as I can, because I know what it feels like to be a beginner gardener and not know what to do, not know if your thumb is brown, purple, and you're just like, I don't even know where to start. I got you. I feel you. That is why I started this channel, to give you hope, to give you encouragement, and to inspire you to grow food. So if that's your jam, subscribe to my channel. Remember, gardening is a journey. Let's grow together. I'll see you next time, friend.